are reports that Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and their children could be set to lose their royal titles if and when Prince William becomes monarch.
So that they would no longer have a title whatsoever, and their children would lose what Meghan Markle once referred to as their birthright.
William is willing to cut a limb in order to save the body. He's willing to even sacrifice the titles of his children in order to clean the Windsor house, because enough is enough. And Harry and Meghan know it, and they're absolutely panicking because
the clock's ticking for Prince Harry, and believe me, he feels it. While King Charles battles a worsening illness, Prince William is quietly stepping forward with a plan so bold it could erase Harry's royal identity forever. The titles, the prestige, the centuries-old legacy, all of it could vanish in a single royal heartbeat. What once made Harry a prince of the realm might soon become nothing more than a memory whispered behind palace walls. The tension in Buckingham Palace is like electricity. Every hallway echo, every guarded glance, it all screams that something massive is about to happen. And at the center of it all stands Harry, a man torn between love, loyalty, and a monarchy that's ready to cut him loose.
That's what
I really do feel it will happen, and I think it's important to note that it won't be a revenge play by William. It's very much...
Right now, Prince Harry is somewhere above the Atlantic, flying back to the UK. And make no mistake, this isn't a sentimental family trip or some goodwill reunion. It's desperation, pure and simple. The moment he realized how serious the threat had become, he jumped on a private jet. Sources close to the palace say the monarchy is preparing to make a move that will change his life, stripping both Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. This isn't about hurt feelings anymore. It's about survival for both sides.
To go. And I think the future in some ways can only be...
King Charles's cancer diagnosis didn't just change royal appearances, it changed the entire monarchy. What the world sees as a father's health struggle is, behind closed doors, a silent but powerful transfer of authority. Insiders have started calling this moment the quiet succession, because while the cameras show a king in treatment, the real power has already shifted to William, the once reserved heir, who's now operating like the de facto ruler of Britain.
I think there's much of a relationship between William and Andrew, but I think Harry and Meghan should be shaking in their boots right now if they are not already. And they could have had the best of all worlds if they had played their cards right, but this was...
While Charles focuses on recovery, William has taken command, attending high-level strategy meetings, overseeing diplomatic briefings, shaping every public statement. His leadership is the opposite of his father's. Charles led with heart. William leads with precision. And that change has left no room for sentiment, no time for tears, and certainly no place for reconciliation, especially not for Harry. Every decision now runs through William. And he's made one thing very clear. The monarchy will no longer bend for personal drama.
When he's King William V, when his father passes on, he's the monarch, he's more aware than anyone, I think, that the monarchy and the royal family...
To William, the royal family isn't just a bloodline, it's a brand. And every brand needs protection. He sees Harry and Meghan not as misunderstood relatives, but as walking PR disasters. Every interview, every Netflix episode, every tell-all memoir has chipped away at the crown's credibility. And William's patience, it's gone, completely.
It's Brittany, it absolutely is. And look, what I just want to point out here is that the British public are not really getting the truth at the moment from the royal...
One royal aide put it bluntly, "We're cleaning house. The monarchy isn't a charity for wayward royals." Those words hit like a thunderclap. Cold, calculated, but brutally honest, that's William's style now.
As well, that it's not, we don't just keep the royal family because we've always had the royal family. They very much have to prove their worth, and he wants to, really push aside anyone.
For years, King Charles's compassion had been Harry's only lifeline. His father's softer nature kept him in the picture longer than most expected. But now, William's in charge. And the truth is painfully simple. Once that crown sits firmly on William's head, officially or otherwise, he won't hesitate to remove anything that weakens the royal machine. And sadly for Harry, his name sits right at the top of that list.
Honors and dignity. That all of that is up to the monarch. And they are right.
Before boarding that jet, Harry made one last plea. He reportedly begged for a private meeting with his father and brother, a heart-to-heart, man-to-man, son-to-father, brother-to-brother. He wanted to speak, to fix, to finally clear the air. But the palace? Silence. Not a single word, not a single response.
For commercial gain, and we know the late Queen had said to Meghan, forbade her from using the HRH title, and of course Meghan...
No invitation, no meeting. Not even an acknowledgement that he was coming. The silence was deafening. And in royal language, silence isn't just neglect, it's strategy. It means power, it means control. It's the monarchy's way of saying we decide who matters and who doesn't. Behind the scenes, William's team has been working quietly for months, building what they call a modernization plan. The translation? Cutting off anyone who damages the crown's reputation. This is no longer about family ties, it's about survival of the institution. Harry's last-minute flight home doesn't look like reconciliation anymore. It looks like his final attempt to stop the inevitable. Harry wants peace, but William? He wants results. He doesn't have time for apologies or emotional family therapy. He wants to restore dignity and show Britain that he can protect the monarchy's image even if it means cutting out his own brother. Even palace aides who once whispered sympathy for Harry have gone cold. He made his choice, one insider reportedly told the Mirror. Now he's living with the consequences. It's the kind of statement that leaves no room for second chances. So when Harry's plane touches down in London, he won't be walking into a warm family embrace. He'll be walking into judgment. Buckingham Palace might open its gates for him, but not its arms. He's not returning as a son or a brother anymore. He's returning as a liability. Before she passed, Queen Elizabeth II didn't just leave a legacy, she left warnings. And one of those, according to Palace Whispers, was meant for Meghan Markle. Her Majesty reportedly told Meghan never to use her royal title for personal profit. But Meghan, she didn't just ignore that warning, she built an entire empire on it. Every single venture, from archetypes to the Netflix series to her books, leaned heavily on her Duchess title. But her newest rumored project, a cosmetics line teased on Instagram, has set the palace ablaze. Tasteful little videos of Meghan applying lipstick, brand name hidden but intentions crystal clear, it was enough to send William into silent rage. To William, this isn't ambition, it's defiance. Meghan's not just being entrepreneurial, she's building a Hollywood empire on the back of a royal identity she once claimed to reject. Worse, she's doing it publicly, meeting with Vogue executives and positioning herself as fashion's next visionary. And to William, that's not vision, it's exploitation. The Queen's warning was clear, no royal should ever sell the crown. But Meghan, whether she realizes it or not, she's doing exactly that. And here's the cruel irony, the very titles that once protected her are now the biggest reason the palace wants them gone. Meghan wanted freedom, independence, her own name, and she might soon get exactly that. Completely. When the latest YouGov poll dropped, it shook the palace. Nearly half of Britain, 47%, said Meghan Markle was a greater threat to the monarchy than Prince Andrew. Let that sink in. A former actress is seen as more dangerous to the crown than a man tied to one of the darkest scandals in royal history. For William, that poll was his smoking gun, his "I told you so" moment. It proved everything he'd been warning his father about. Public opinion has turned, and the monarchy can't afford to look weak. Every royal institution thrives on credibility, and right now, Harry and Meghan are dragging that credibility straight through the mud. For William, that poll wasn't just data, it was evidence. Proof that the British public had finally spoken. To him, it wasn't about revenge anymore, it was about responsibility. The monarchy's reputation was bleeding, and he saw it as his duty to cauterize the wound, even if that meant burning bridges with his own brother. And as King Charles's health quietly declines, William's shadow grows larger by the day. He's already being briefed like a king in waiting, already making the calls that shape Britain's royal image. That's what chills Harry the most. There's no Queen Elizabeth to soften the edges, no father strong enough to protect him. The boy who once had the world at his feet is now standing outside the gates, watching the walls rise higher. The king may still want reconciliation, but the heir wants control. And in William's new version of monarchy, mercy is weakness one he simply can't afford. Meanwhile, Meghan, ever the strategist, is still turning headlines into opportunities. Her so-called award-winning podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, has been paraded online as a major triumph. Yet behind the glossy photos and the glowing captions, the truth is much duller. Few people listened, reviews were lukewarm at best, and her multi-million Spotify deal ended in quiet disappointment. Still, somehow, she's holding up 2 shiny Signal Awards as proof that she's thriving. It's what palace insiders now call the Meghan effect, her uncanny ability to turn illusion into influence. She doesn't need reality to back her story, she just needs the right people to believe it. Every camera flash, every perfectly worded quote, every curated headline, all of it. An illusion crafted with diamond precision. But beneath the gloss, the cracks are widening. Former collaborators whisper about her obsession with image, her perfectionism, her tendency to isolate anyone who disagrees. One insider called her approach style without substance, harsh, but not unfounded. Even within her inner circle, patience is running thin, and that's exactly where William's team is striking hardest. They're using Meghan's glossy PR moves as ammunition proof that she's not misunderstood, she's manipulative. Every time she smiles for the cameras, they twist it into a headline that says, "See, she's not struggling, She's strategizing. To the palace, Meghan isn't a threat because she's powerful. She's a threat because she's unpredictable. She built an empire on perception, but perception fades fast. And when the public catches up to the illusion, the fall is brutal. The monarchy, built on centuries of quiet dignity, now sees her self-promotion as nothing short of royal blasphemy. And Harry, the once rebellious prince who seemed untouchable, he's finally facing his own storm. Insiders say he's restless, sleepless, and visibly anxious. The freedom he once romanticized has curdled into isolation. His California dream has become a gilded cage. What was supposed to be paradise, sunshine, surf, and self-discovery now feels like exile. Behind the smiles, people close to him describe a man haunted by regret. He traded the palace for peace, but found only pressure. Without his royal titles, Harry is just Harry. Not a soldier prince, not a global humanitarian, just a man caught between two worlds. Too royal for Hollywood, too Hollywood for the royals. And that in-between space is destroying him. Those close to the couple say Harry's fire has faded into fear. The defiance that once fueled him is gone, replaced by desperation. He's reaching out, sending feelers, testing whether there's still a path back home. But every time he tries, the palace door stays shut. He said sorry before, one aide scoffed. Then he made another documentary. Meanwhile, Meghan's projects keep crumbling, the brand weakening, the partnerships thinning. The Netflix sequel idea has stalled. The podcast relaunch fizzled. Their Hollywood circle is shrinking. Even royal security, once guaranteed, is hanging by a thread. For a man raised behind palace gates, the thought of losing that safety is terrifying. The royals may have exiled him emotionally years ago, but stripping his titles would erase his protection, the one invisible shield that's kept him, Meghan, and their children safe. Inside sources say Harry's torn apart between love and legacy. He wants to protect Meghan, but he also knows the truth. He helped build this storm. Every interview, every confession, every tell-all, each brick in the wall that now separates him from his family. And as the walls close in, even Harry seems to question whether it's too late. Too late to fix what's broken. Too late to win back the family he turned his back on. Too late to reclaim the life he threw away. The palace, meanwhile, is already preparing for the aftershock. Behind closed doors, there's talk of titles being erased from official websites, names adjusted in royal records, and future invitations none. Imagine it, no Duke and Duchess of Sussex. No Prince Archie, no Princess Lilibet, just Harry and Meghan Windsor, two former royals wandering through Hollywood's fickle world without the armor of the crown. For the monarchy, it's not cruelty, it's calculation. Stripping them of those titles isn't symbolic, it's seismic. Those titles mean access, privilege, security. Remove them, and the Sussex brand crumbles overnight. And maybe that's the point. A monarchy that survived centuries knows how to protect itself. William's vision is clear: a cleaner, leaner, more disciplined institution that answers to no one but the crown. And if Harry somehow finds a way to charm his way back in, it'll take nothing short of a royal miracle. A gesture of humility so profound it would rival Edward VIII's abdication. Whether Harry reclaims his family or loses his royal identity for good, one thing's certain: the fairy tale is over. And for the first time, even royalty can't outrun reality.